Okay, hot take. Blaze is a season 3 MVP.
I don't know if that is the most impressive roster I'm looking at for season 4. I feel like
Bob is just going for people's necks. Like
Acer is never coming back from this season's loss. EU and NA.
Here's the Gibular Bob hot take.
Welcome to the Breakdown Podcast, where we go over hot topics and even hotter takes. Today I'm joined by Martiney, Gibular Bob, and Old Gravy, and we talk about breachers. Enjoy the show.
We were just talking in the pre-chat about I need maybe a gimmick, because I think almost everyone on the Breachers casting team has a gimmick at this point, and I don't. And apparently it might be a grill, but we'll figure that out later.
You're literally
golden.
that?
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally considering buying a grill just for my VRML cast.
I don't know.
But like the slap-on ones, don't like go to the dentist office and. Like,
yeah, I know. I'm not gonna get a grill. What do I look like? Do I look like I'm gonna get a grill? My friends saw me wear a grill in real life. They're like, "What is this guy doing? What is he?" I'm like, it's just VR. You wouldn't get it. I think the incendiary is overtuned at this point. It's really cheap compared to the frag. It does so much zoning value, so much killable value. They should either increase the cost or do something with the frag. Right now, I argue it's better than the frag, yet it costs less, which is kind of insane.
It's a bit of a hot take, Martini.
Yeah, it's a burning take.
Okay,
I saw a suggestion. I saw a suggestion that said like we need to like nerf. I don't say nerf, but like definitely tune the incendiary, and I totally agree with it. It's in such a good spot. Like whenever I play now, I buy the incendiary over a frag. To be honest,
crazy.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think there's merit to that because it's definitely it was the hot item after the update.
Get out. Yeah, this is over.
Maybe it's a little bit too cheap now. Maybe it needs to go up by 100. I think I saw a suggestion for that. But yeah, it's cheap. It denies a lot of area. It does a lot of damage. I mean, you can throw it, and the person who's planting that EMP, rest in peace to them, because there's a 70% chance they will not escape.
Also, dropping down the points on control point, also really good. I like that. It makes it go a lot quicker and stuff. What I don't like, though, is now when you have an enemy and a teammate on the point, it doesn't just stop the points. The points still go, but to both.
Right,
teams.
It gives them to both teams. Yeah,
I don't like that.
I do find that weird. I think you should have to contest and earn the points, right?
Exactly, because if it's a close game and stuff, they could still win just by contesting the point. When they shouldn't be like that. They should take full control of it to get some points.
It is called control point.
You know what they say? To the victor go the spoils.
Nerd.
I think that's what
someone just saying.
I'm just saying.
You have like 3 or 4 sayings off. We just started. Dude. We already had. You ripped off 3 or 4. That's hilarious, man.
Little profound.
I swear, you have a little tablet behind you that just like has all of these sayings.
You got ChatGPT just spewing out every single.
No.
It's like generate a new phrase for me. But wait, besides the incendiary grenade, was there anything else? I think with the recent updates that y'all liked or disliked, or besides that.
Is my 2 not good enough for you, Martini?
No,
wow.
That's 2 things. Okay,
that's 2 things, and I'm 1 person. How about that? Where was yours 2?
Dang.
That's what I thought.
I'm saying, are there anything? Dang!
Martini's catching strays here.
I was thinking like after Bob was talking to me about mollies, I was like, Breachers is like half CS:GO, half CS2, half Rainbow Six, right? So what if the smokes actually were able to snuff out the mollies like in Counter-Strike?
They can do that? I don't know anything about
Counter-Strike. But what if they can do that? What if they could?
It'd be very interesting. I think it would make the smoke too good. You know, like I think it'd be a hard counter like that would be kind of insane. But I do acknowledge like it becomes a waiting game now. And that makes the game boring. I will argue that it does make it boring at times. It's a great zoning tool. And I've said it sometimes like
game boring.
No, like waiting on incendiaries, like just sitting there.
Right.
Because, I've heard this complaint about, it's a different game, Marvel Rivals. There's this thing where sometimes support ultimates will just make it a waiting game because you're just waiting for something to finish up and then you can resume the game. So it kind of makes the game a little boring because of that, because it's so useful. And with the incendiary with 2 on both sides, right, it becomes this big waiting game now. Having a smoke be a direct counter would be insane work. But then it's like, how would it work? Would it only work on the specific area the smoke's covering, or would it just take out the whole pool, right? Because then that gets complicated. And I'm gonna be honest, I can totally see the Breachers team struggling with how to handle something like that. It just sounds very kind of clunky. But it would be a great tool. I mean, it would make the smoke almost like you have to run it, just like you have to run, incendiaries all the time. So, but again, with stuff like that, you're making it you're making these gadgets very, very powerful, right? So I think you got to either make them cost more or something, right? Because right now the incendiary is cheaper than a frag, but I think it's more useful than a frag, to be quite honest. Yeah.
You also have to think, and this was kind of going to be my next point, like as the game evolves, we'll see new interactions with utility and who knows if we'll get more weapons. I mean, they announced new gadgets, with the S.
Oh,
there.
I thought it was a single.
No, if you get one for offense, you got to have one for defense.
That's
sure. Yeah.
So you think it's a side gadget? It's not like a general gadget. You think that's what they're going to be doing?
Hopefully.
We'll see. But it's still, I mean, that opens up the door for a lot of speculation. Like, how many new gadgets are we going to see? What could these gadgets possibly do? And this is, I think, really exciting for competitive breaches because new gadget means new ways to interact with the game, new strategies. So, we could very well see a point like Chum was saying, where we could get to that CS2 level and see certain utility countering other utility. I mean, you could already use a frag to counter a lot of defensive util. So, what's to say that the instant at some point won't also suffer like that same kind of interaction? Yeah, like a counter.
It would be very interesting and unique. I think it'd be cool. At first I was kind of hating on like, it makes the smoke too powerful, but like the incendiary is so powerful, right?
Right.
So what's wrong? Make another counter gadget powerful, because it's not like hurting anyone, it's just preventing hurt, if that makes sense.
Like the complexity would also make for like a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, because now utility baiting is even bigger of a deal, right? And I've said this so many times. Like I've seen even at the top level play, like people don't bait out utility, which is I think insane. Like I know in hideout on that top floor, when you push that A site, that A site, and you go for the plant, you gotta go for a tap, because 8 times out of 10, someone's lobbing a frag, someone's lobbing an incendiary, and it always blows my mind when they just run in.
No, even with a tap, if they get that instant off, even if it just touches you, you're walking
you're right,
so
but that's why I say no, but that's what I say in terms of baiting. Like you're almost immediately
I see what you did there.
You literally tap it and run, like expecting someone to throw. So by the time they do throw it, because they're not faster than you, and knowing your actions at least, right? Unless they're great at predicting, which is insane game sense, but they earn that kill anyways.
There's people that will literally have like the instant ready, and they won't even do anything. They'll just wait until they hear it tap, and you go, oh.
I do that. I mean, that's like the perfect way to play it, though, because you just wait for the audio cue. You don't have to risk pushing yourself out into an unnecessary angle and getting your head ripped off. You just wait. Oh, there's the audio cue. Let me just toss the instant, and they're out of the room for at least 15 seconds. I might get the kill along with it, and the person who's there, if they're trying to plant the EMP and they don't back out, well, it's just the race to plant the EMP and make your sacrifice mean something.
I have a quick question. If you get hit by a piece of utility, do you take damage?
No. Like if a frag won't give you a concussion,
it goes through you.
It will get you more than a concussion. You'll most likely be dead.
Actually, now that's a good question. It doesn't bounce off your body, right? It goes through.
No, it doesn't.
Your body.
It goes through you. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be pretty funny. Like if you're like a lot of ammo, you just start throwing. That's like the equivalent. That's the breacher's equivalent of a knife. You just like throw utility, you pick them up, and just keep throwing. Like a game of snowball.
Impact kill would be fun.
Yeah. Just whittle
that would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. Like collision with player characters.
Yeah, that's super difficult.
With those gadgets, yeah.
Breachers is pretty advanced for
it is. It's good.
Like a standalone game.
Think about it, right?
Oh, geez, Martini. That's greedy. Oh, wow.
No, theoretically, they could be more creative.
That could be doing more.
That is a limitation, I think, no matter what, right?
What I personally think stands out from where Breacher stands out is that it's a great competitive game, but it's also not insanely demanding. Like you're not playing on 2 frames if you're on standalone. It runs very well. I played it on standalone. I played it on PC VR. It runs great on both platforms. And really the only major difference if you play on PC VR is it's graphically a little bit better. You might get a better frame rate on it, but ultimately it's not that big a difference.
And speaking
I heard sound is different. Like like audio cues are better. I've heard people told me it's better on PC, which I haven't played on PC. So
people will tell you weird stuff, man. I don't know, like some stuff I don't know if it's true or not.
You're like, I think you're just lying to yourself.
Right? Yeah, it's audio. It must be better. Are you sure it's not just like the headset, like or your headphones? It might be that.
Yeah.
Speaking of headsets, have you guys heard anything about like the new VR headsets coming out? I've heard a few from like Valve, Asus, Samsung.
You know, the Vision Pro 2, I think I heard it coming out. I think it's a weird move by Meta. I have strong opinions against Meta sometimes. Because
Vision is from the Apple Vision Pro 2.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Pro. Sorry. So Apple Vision Pro 2, not the Meta, like the Quest Pro.
Oh, the Quest Pro. Yeah. I heard the Quest Pro 2 coming out too. Yeah, dude, the first Quest Pro absolutely bombed.
Yeah, I bought it. Oof. Not worth it, dude. I still have it. It's still sitting. It's still sitting in my room. Like
an old artifact of a forgotten.
I use a Quest 3 over a Pro, which is insane, dude.
Wow. All I'm hearing is money, and I don't. That's all right now.
Hey man, but like that is a part of this ecosystem, right? Like these headsets are definitely important, and they can influence how these developers design their games and stuff. So I get it. Like we're part of the game community, so we're not like those VR people that are like tech ones. But it's still important to kind of keep your eye on it.
Will be one that has the little lenses on the inside fully connected versus like two little eye things, and maybe like around the headset or something,
like your glasses.
Like actually,
you just want crazy field of vision.
I just want like a crazy field of vision.
You want to see everything. You want to be like, I want to see like my eyes.
I want to feel like I'm there. I don't want to see like this little black box still.
Right.
I want to feel like there.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a tricky area with VR because you can't release something that's like you can release a high quality headset, but there also needs to be like the entry level. Like a lot of people buy those Quest headsets, and it's important that the Quest headsets continue to come out and they have good performance, but they're also costing less money. Because right now, I don't think a lot of people realize that the cost for the full-on Quest 3 is the same price as like a console, like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. Now, granted, you're not going to be able to play as long with some of those without, a cord or a battery head strap. But I don't know. We're reaching that point where VR is starting to become a lot more accessible to players. Like, we all know a lot of kids play VR. And so, it's going to be like, you don't want to make it too expensive because then your market is going to be so niche that I don't feel like it would be worth it. But I'm very surprised that a company like Apple is thinking about making another headset, considering the absolute nightmare they had with the first Vision Pro.
The way I look at Apple, though, is like they're doing more. I know it's released and these are consumer products, but to me, it's more POCs for them. I think they're just trying to see what they can do and eventually get to a really good spot. And I know what you're saying. For a consumer and in terms of buying it, it probably failed. But I looked up this video from like a VR tech YouTuber. I forgot which one. There's just like a good amount of them. Normal gaming was like 20, 30 years ago, right? It was so different than it is now. Did it really take over? I guess it does at that point. Because at the beginning, towards the beginning, because right, VR has been out for, but better. We can contribute to this actively and directly. Anyways, I can
holy
I can get on my high horse about VR. Obviously, I love the space. Let's move on to some other topics.
Hot take.
Don't get me talking about VR, man. I could go all day.
You might be in the wrong podcast then.
Right. Let's talk about Bleachers.
Did you get your VR headset some flowers on Valentine's Day, Martini?
You know what? I'm about to do it right now.
Little known fact: Martini is like number 2 biggest VR chat user.
You know what's crazy? I don't even use VR chat, but I will like advertise it to people. But I told Shimi, take me to one of your. Never, I'm not gonna say this. Let's move on.
Cut.
No, not in a weird way, man. Like, hey, let me see.
You said it in a weird way. You're like, wait, no, never mind.
Thinking the shimmy party.
Oh God! No, we got to cut that. We definitely got to cut that.
Don't put that in. Don't put that in.
Hot take.
Anyways, I heard there was a crazy. What?
Okay, let me introduce the next segment.
Oh, you're doing it. I don't know who's doing it. If it's us or you. Or...
Hot take. Blaze is the season 3 MVP.
It's tough for me. It's between him and Proxy, because Proxy is one of the best entry fraggers I've seen. So it's a close one. But Blaze, I was glazing so much in playoffs. Right, there's so many times where I saw them do so well on every front, and I call them utility king for a reason, because they somehow have mastered the game sense in terms of utility kills, because they get frag kills consistently, incendiary kills, trip mine kills, like it's just every instant, like almost, except the only thing I didn't see was like a static kill, and even then he might have done it. He might have done it, right?
He
like
got a foam kill. We blew out wall and got like.
Right, I need to see just I needed like a cool mashup of Blaze just getting utility picks from every possible gadget that you can, and that'd be amazing. But I think Blaze is a great all-around player, and that's why I say MVP, because they covered. They are, if you were to like point at someone in terms of like proper breachology, like they've done everything you could do right in terms of all breacher concepts, not just fragging. I would say Blaze, honestly.
You know, when you have a topic like this, you really look at the numbers. I don't think there was a specific map where Blaze dropped anything less than double digits in kills. I could be wrong. I know I'm going to be clipped, and we're all. I hope you all know at this moment.
Like one map.
We
like
are
one map
being
on some
called
random
out in the comments for glazing Blaze, the Blaze glaze, if you will. But I think if there's skill, it is warranted, and Blaze was really, really good. I mean, here's the Gibbular Bob hot take.
Do you have a hot take you want to share? We're taking submissions, so send a 10-second clip in our Discord, and we'll take a listen. Okay, back to the content.
Here's the Gibbular Bob hot take. Blaze was the number one reason that Apex made it as far as they did.
Ooh.
It's out there. It's out there. But look, I mean, you look at, okay, so Luna, the captain of Apex, very, very solid player. Really good IGL. Also very important to the Apex success. And then, of course, you know, the other teammates had helped out as well. But you look at the kills, and like Blaze is crazy, dropping close to 20 kills. And there were a lot of players on Apex that really were not living up to that same performance. And so it felt like Blaze was the one. If Blaze died, it was a round loss for Apex. I won't say it was like that every single time. I know that I've probably made quite a few enemies here at this point, but I will glaze Blaze. I will do the Blaze glaze and say that Blaze was the reason that they made it as far as they did.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I wouldn't even say that.
I would put him up there. Another honorable mention, I would probably say, I don't know if they put him at the same level. I'll probably put him just a little bit underneath, just because Blaze, again, was very versatile with all the util and stuff like that. But Sleetso.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You will likely never find another good roamer like Sleetso.
Sleetso was kind of killer.
Quite the project player, I will say. His first season into VRML, he made.
But they played another VRML stuff, right?
Yes, but I mean, no one counts that game. I mean, Breachers. You know, the fact that I was able to carry over to Breachers, which is pretty impressive.
It is impressive,
so,
yeah.
I got to give Sleet his feet. You know, so.
Hey, Proxy's happy that they got mentioned.
What are they here?
Yeah.
Proxy, be happy.
Yeah, they was. Proxy in chat. Where's chat?
I was going to say, I'm glazing Blaze over here, and Proxy was listening in on us. That would have made me very depressed.
No, man, like I was glazing Proxy so much. I'm like, man, entry fragger. This is like, wow. Like, I wish I had that kind of confidence, because there's sometimes I'm like, Proxy shouldn't do this, but then he did. And I was like,
it opens up a wall, 3 kills off the rip into the site. I mean, just like inhuman reaction speeds.
Yeah.
Proxy's also, I mean, there are a number of super good Breachers VRML players.
Oh, yeah.
And you got Proxy in there, you got Sleetso in there, you got Blaze in there. It's not a matter of, you know.
Put them on the same team.
Yeah. Put them on the same
That'd be crazy.
team.
That'd be crazy. Oh, I didn't see the updates.
Blaze and Sleet are on IVI. They were on my team, but they decided to go ahead and leave for the other team. It's fine.
A little beef.
No,
your team is Yam time, not beef time.
They only joined for a little bit. They were just testing the waters, and they're like, you know what? I got an offer over here. I'm gonna go over this way. So.
Yeah, I will say though, like even though they're all great players, doesn't always mean they mesh well, right? It could be a super team in terms of like stats, but they could not mesh well at all.
To be fair, it could have been that Blaze thrived as
well. They just want better.
It could be that Blaze thrived as much as they did on Apex because they had a team that was behind them supporting them. I don't know if that's the answer to that. I wasn't very aware of the entire team dynamic of Apex, but what I saw was that Blaze is dropped a ton of kills. Martiney said, great utility placement. I bet Blaze could probably get a kill with a smoke. Could be the first person to do that in Breach's VRML. But I would say that they were what was it, Chum? The season, door blocker kill. Could happen. Chum, was it of the season or was it of postseason?
Anything really, like regular season, post.
I consider it all one thing though. Like playoffs are season 3 just extended, right? Like I consider it all the same.
But so to be fair, you look at if we're gonna do that, you look at the full season. And honestly, I feel like maybe Sleetstone might be a better pick because Valor was consistently good the entire time.
They were, yeah.
And Sleetstone was always putting in some very solid performances. Apex had a couple of rocky weeks, especially with that loss to Havoc that was it Havoc? No, it was Aspect that actually put Aspect in that top 7. So I don't know. It's debatable there, but if we're talking about like overall performance in that postseason, I think it's safe to say that it would probably be Blaze as the MVP.
Yeah.
Dang. I got another hot take for you guys. Hot and fast. Acer is never coming back from this season's loss. EU and NA.
both. Ooh, you're taking both.
Yeah.
I just, dude, I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. I was kind of shocked how it gone. 3 back-to-back losses going into playoffs and losing.
Sound like a disappointed father.
I was. As much as I'll say this, I gave Acer such a hard time all the time, but that's because they're the best. They can take it, right?
Oof.
So. No, they were the best.
Yeah, they were.
And that's something I challenge now. I had said this, I think, a season or 2 back. I'm like, honestly, I think their skill level is just so above everybody, and that's why they dropped. They did so well against a lot of teams for season 0, 1, 2. But the thing is, the Breachers community, I think is finally caught up. So that skill gap isn't there. Now you're talking differences that are so minor, and maybe they're not shining as much as they used to, right? So this requires their team to now finally have to innovate and get better and really train up the whole team, because now they can't rely on the success they'd had for several seasons because other teams finally caught up. And that's the glaze to Acer to have such a great gap for several seasons long. That's amazing. But now they have to really put and I think it's harder now. You have to put that much more work to be that much more better. And that's because the Breaches community skill level is just getting better and better and better for every season, especially with ranked play coming in now. So that shooting mechanic is going to be trained all the time. And then for competitive play, they need to worry about their gameplay with other players on their team and have that team play. It's only going to get harder at this point to be grand finalists now. So I'm not going to say they're never coming back, but they're going to have to work hard to come back now. So.
That's a good point. They had such a dominant running, and I feel like it's almost sad for Acer because they'd been the winners for so long, and they lose. They don't go one season all the way to the finals. It's like they're completely washed. But the thing is, it's not looking great for their team right now because a first round exit in the postseason. First of all,
whoa, what's wrong with that?
Okay, well, maybe
say something. I was waiting.
but
I can hate from outside the club. You can't even get in.
At least. Well, I do have a finalist skin. I have a season 3. I was also at VRML Con.
Okay,
but yeah. Anyways, where was that? So you kind of had that first initial loss to Formula 3, which marked the beginning of the end for Acer. I felt like that was really kind of what shattered their reputation. It was like it was like they lose to Formula 3. So it wasn't the worst case for Acer because they had been battling Formula 3 for so long. It was only a matter of time before F3 finally pulled one over on Acer. So I think that damaged Acer's reputation a lot there. But what more so, I think, really shattered that illusion that they were, they were going to be the number 1 team forever was that loss to IV, which was not close. it was like 14-6, I think. I was looking earlier. Yeah, it was absolute brutality against a team that had, gone and won so many, postseasons before. And then they get into the postseason here, and they go out first round, and it was just it just wasn't the same team.
I made that crazy call because I think you're right, Bob. Sorry to cut you off, but it's Formula 3 Ivy. But I think what really put the nail in the coffin was that Valor, because like that game, everyone's like, there's no way they lose this as expected. And I remember when that came out, I was just like, damn, or dang, I don't know if you can say. But Acer is like, maybe they are washed. So keep going. Sorry, I just wanted that Valor one. It was the biggest.
Right. Yeah. I had forgotten about that one. Thank you. But also the other important factor to consider is a roster heading into the next season. Mm-hmm. They've got Hotline, Tech9 Jr., Iban, LFT, Ninja Tim, Reaps, the Ace. That's what they have. They've lost quite a few of their people. Determined Fear left, Red left, Sleepy left, Plunge left, and to me, they have lost a lot of their core players, and who they have replaced them with. I don't know if that is the most impressive roster I'm looking at for season 4. I feel like
Bob is just going for people's necks. Like
I'm being honest. I got Gravy to take off the glasses.
Put it in the title. Put it in the title.
But yeah, look, Yam Time I think has a more impressive roster. Ivy has a more impressive roster. Gravy Glaze, I know I'm going to be called out for glazing a lot of people here, but I don't think Acer's roster is going to be as powerful. I could be wrong. I eat my words all the time. I'm prepared to do so.
Yeah, he's talking mad smack. He's like, nah, they're washed. They're washed. They're even more washed now.
Let me fill you in on some stuff here, Bob. Mm-hmm. Acer has been whooping us in scrims. Enough said.
Ooh.
We have not even beaten yet in the scrim.
You better lock in. I don't want to eat my words like first game of the season. Okay.
We'll work on it. We got a whole new roster too, so we got to work on playing with it. So we'll see.
But no, I think Acer can come back, right? It's just how much work are they going to put in for it, right?
Oh, it's 100%. It's not like they lose and they're eternally cursed to never win again. No, they can absolutely win again. I'm sure they will.
Maybe become a bronze team after that.
He said it, not me.
I'm saying like, I'm thinking a joke. That was a joke.
Martini thinks Acer's going to be bronze.
That was definitely a joke. I had one quick thing I wanted to say. I think for the finals, this might be controversial. I think if Ninja Tim had been there and not dropped on them, Apex might have been able to win. Against IBNA.
No, Ninja Tim was on Aspect.
I'm gonna shut up. Who's the captain on Apex?
Wait, Apex was Luna.
Wait. Oh, wait, the Aspect game. I think about the Aspect game. Oh my god. Wait, who did Aspect play?
See the game, you didn't remember who played in it.
I don't even know what it would be, bro.
Like gold teeth.